In the fast-paced modern world, where stress and uncertainty have become the norm, many of us find ourselves searching for a sense of peace and stability. We chase happiness through material success, personal achievements, or fleeting pleasures, yet the deeper sense of fulfillment remains elusive. Buddhism, an ancient spiritual tradition that has guided seekers for over 2,500 years, offers profound wisdom on how to cultivate inner peace and maintain a positive outlook on life. Through mindfulness, gratitude, self-compassion, and an understanding of impermanence, we can transform our perspective and learn to navigate life's challenges with serenity and strength. As a lifelong researcher of Buddhist philosophy, I have come to appreciate the depth and practicality of these teachings. The Buddha was not merely a religious figure but a profound psychologist of the human mind. His insights into suffering, happiness, and mental resilience remain as relevant today as they were in ancient India. In this exploration, we will walk through 7 key Buddhist principles that can help us remain calm and positive. No matter what life brings, let us embark on this journey together, with open minds and willing hearts. The Buddha once said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." This simple yet profound statement lies at the heart of Buddhist psychology. Our thoughts shape our experiences, influencing not only how we perceive the world but also how we respond to it. If we cultivate a mind filled with worry, anger, or negativity, then suffering becomes our reality. Conversely, if we train our minds to remain present, appreciative, and clear, we create the conditions for peace and happiness. In Buddhism, mindfulness, sati, is one of the most essential practices for achieving inner peace. It is the ability to be fully present, aware of our thoughts, emotions, and surroundings without getting lost in them. Imagine your mind as a vast, open sky, and your thoughts as passing clouds. Some clouds are light and peaceful, while others are dark and stormy. Many of us become so fixated on the clouds, our worries, regrets, and fears, that we forget the sky itself remains untouched and vast. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our thoughts without being controlled by them. Negativity often arises when we dwell on the past or anxiously anticipate the future. We replay mistakes, relive painful experiences, or obsess over uncertainties. But when we bring our attention to the present moment, we free ourselves from these burdens. Take a simple example. When drinking a cup of tea, many people sip absent-mindedly while thinking about work, personal issues, or future plans. But if we drink tea mindfully, feeling its warmth, savoring its taste, appreciating its aroma, we transform a simple act into a moment of joy. This principle applies to every aspect of life. Mindfulness does not require a temple or meditation cushion. It can be practiced in everyday activities. Here are a few simple ways to integrate mindfulness into your life. Mindful breathing. Pause for a moment and take a deep breath. Feel the air entering your lungs. Then slowly exhale, releasing any tension. Even a few conscious breaths can bring immediate clarity and calmness. Mindful eating. Instead of rushing through meals, take the time to truly taste and appreciate your food. Notice the textures, flavors, and the effort that went into preparing it. Mindful walking. Whether walking in nature or just to your car, pay attention to each step. Feel your connection to the ground beneath you. Mindful listening. When conversing with others, truly listen rather than thinking about your response. Be fully present with the person in front of you. Over time, these small moments of mindfulness add up, rewiring the brain to be more present and less reactive. As we become more aware of our thoughts, we gain the power to choose positivity over negativity, clarity over confusion, and peace over distress. The path to a positive life begins with training the mind. Through mindfulness, we take the first step toward transforming our inner world, allowing peace and joy to naturally emerge. If mindfulness is the practice of being present, then gratitude is the art of appreciating the present. The Buddha once taught that a grateful heart is a magnet for happiness. When we acknowledge the blessings in our lives, no matter how small, we shift our focus away from what is missing and instead embrace the abundance that already exists. But gratitude is more than just a positive thought. It is a transformative practice that changes the way we experience life. To illustrate this, let me share with you a simple yet profound Buddhist parable. There was once a poor man who lived in a small village. He struggled every day to find enough food and often envied the wealthy merchants who walked through town with their fine clothes and golden jewelry. One evening, as he sat by the river feeling sorry for himself, an old monk passed by. Seeing the sadness on the man's face, the monk smiled and said, "Why do you look so troubled, my friend?" The poor man sighed. "I have nothing. I am tired of struggling. If only I had wealth, I could finally be happy." The monk reached into his bag and pulled out a large, radiant diamond. He handed it to the man and said, "Take this, it is yours." The poor man's eyes widened in disbelief. "This must be worth a fortune," he exclaimed. He clutched the diamond and ran home, unable to contain his excitement. Finally, he thought, his life would change forever. But that night, as he lay in bed, he couldn't sleep. A deep unease settled in his heart. If this monk was willing to give me such a priceless gem without hesitation, he wondered, what does he possess that is even more valuable? At dawn, he rushed back to the monk and handed the diamond back. "Please," he begged, "teach me what you have that made you so willing to give this away. That is the treasure I truly seek." This story reveals a profound truth. Wealth does not bring happiness, contentment does. The monk's treasure was not in material possessions but in his gratitude for life itself. He understood that true wealth is found in appreciating what we already have, rather than longing for what we lack. Like the poor man, many of us spend our lives chasing what we believe will bring us happiness, more money, a better job, a perfect relationship, only to find that the pursuit never ends. But Buddhism teaches that when we cultivate gratitude, we free ourselves from this endless cycle of wanting and instead discover joy in the present moment. Gratitude is a skill, and like any skill, it grows stronger with practice. Here are some ways to cultivate gratitude in your daily life. Before getting out of bed, take a moment to think of 3 things you are grateful for. It could be as simple as waking up in good health, having a roof over your head, or the warmth of the morning sun. Keep a gratitude journal. Each night, write down at least 3 things that brought you joy during the day. This trains your mind to focus on the positive rather than dwelling on what went wrong. Express gratitude to others. A simple, "thank you," can make a huge difference, not just for the person receiving it, but for you as well. The more you express appreciation, the more connected you feel to those around you. Practice gratitude in difficult moments. When facing challenges, ask yourself, what lesson can I learn from this? Or, what hidden blessing might this situation bring? Even in hardship, there is always something to be grateful for, a lesson learned, inner strength discovered, or the support of loved ones. The more we practice gratitude, the more we realize that happiness isn't found in having more but in appreciating more. Like the monk in the story, we become rich, not in material wealth, but in contentment and peace. So, I ask you, what is something you are grateful for today? In Buddhist philosophy, words hold immense power, not just the words we say to others, but more importantly, the words we say to ourselves. The Buddha taught about right speech, samavaka, one of the fundamental elements of the Noble Eightfold Path. While this teaching is often associated with how we communicate with others, it also applies to our internal dialogue, the way we speak to ourselves in our minds. Many people are kinder to strangers than they are to themselves. They criticize themselves harshly for mistakes, dwell on perceived shortcomings, and hold themselves to unrealistic standards. This self-criticism creates suffering, trapping the mind in a cycle of negativity. But what if we changed that? What if we spoke to ourselves with the same kindness, patience, and encouragement that we offer a dear friend? To illustrate this idea, let me share a well-known Buddhist parable. One day, a disciple approached the Buddha, troubled and distressed. "Master," he asked, "why do we suffer so much in life?" The Buddha replied with a question, "If a person is struck by an arrow, is it painful?" "Of course, Master," the disciple answered. "And if a second arrow strikes them in the same spot, does the pain increase?" "Yes, Master, the second arrow would cause even greater suffering." The Buddha then explained, "The first arrow represents the pain of life, illness, disappointment, loss. These are inevitable. But the second arrow is self-inflicted. It is the suffering we create through our own thoughts, judgments, and resistance. We may not always have control over the first arrow, but we always have a choice in whether we fire the second. How self-criticism becomes the second arrow. We all experience difficulties, mistakes, failures, and setbacks. These are the first arrows of life. But then, we often shoot a second arrow at ourselves. I'm so stupid for making that mistake. I'll never be good enough. Why can't I be as successful as others? This inner dialogue deepens our suffering, turning momentary difficulties into long-lasting pain. But Buddhism teaches that through self-compassion, we can put down the second arrow and break free from this cycle. The practice of self-compassion. Self-compassion is not about ignoring mistakes or avoiding self-improvement. Instead, it is about approaching ourselves with kindness, patience, and understanding, the same way a wise teacher would guide a student. 1. Notice your inner voice. The first step in cultivating self-compassion is to become aware of how you speak to yourself. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. Are you uplifting yourself, or are you tearing yourself down? 2. Reframe negative self-talk. When you catch yourself in self-criticism, pause and reframe it into a more compassionate statement. Instead of, I failed, I'm terrible at this, try, I'm learning, and every mistake is a step toward growth. Instead of, I'll never be as good as others, try, I am on my own unique journey, and I am improving every day. Words have power. The way you speak to yourself shapes your reality. 3. Treat yourself like a friend. Imagine your closest friend comes to you after making a mistake. Would you call them worthless? Would you tell them they're not good enough? Of course not. So why do we do this to ourselves? Try speaking to yourself with the same warmth, encouragement, and understanding that you would offer a loved one. When you face difficulties, ask yourself, what would I say to a dear friend in this situation? Then, offer yourself the same compassion. 4. Practice loving kindness meditation, metta bhavana. One of the most powerful Buddhist practices for cultivating self-compassion is loving kindness meditation, metta bhavana. In this meditation, you silently repeat phrases of goodwill and love, first for yourself, then for others. A simple practice looks like this. Sit quietly and take a few deep breaths. Close your eyes and repeat the following phrases. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free from suffering. Feel these words in your heart. With time, extend them to others, your loved ones, strangers, and even those you find difficult to love. This practice rewires the mind, replacing self-judgment with kindness. When we develop self-compassion, we stop fighting against ourselves. Instead of being trapped in cycles of regret and self-doubt, we create a mental environment where growth, healing, and joy can flourish. Compassion does not make us weak, it makes us resilient. When we are kind to ourselves, we build the inner strength needed to face challenges with grace and courage. So, the next time you catch yourself speaking harshly to yourself, remember, put down the second arrow. How do you speak to yourself on difficult days? What words of kindness can you offer yourself today? Take a moment to reflect. And if you'd like, share your thoughts. I'd love to hear how this practice resonates with you. In Buddhism, the body is not seen as separate from the mind. They are interconnected, influencing each other in profound ways. The Buddha himself emphasized the importance of caring for the body, teaching that a balanced and healthy body supports a clear and peaceful mind. The Buddha once followed the path of extreme asceticism, depriving his body of nourishment in the pursuit of enlightenment. However, he soon realized that neither indulgence nor extreme deprivation led to true wisdom. Instead, he taught the middle path, a way of balance and moderation. Your body is the vehicle through which you experience life. It allows you to see, hear, touch, and connect with the world. When we neglect our physical well-being, our mental state suffers as well. An unhealthy body can lead to a restless mind, making it harder to cultivate positivity and inner peace. Thus, taking care of the body is not an act of vanity, it is an act of respect for the vessel that carries us through life. How to care for your body in a Buddhist way. 1. Eat mindfully. Food is not just fuel, it is a source of nourishment for both body and mind. The Buddha encouraged mindful eating, being fully present while consuming food, appreciating its flavors, and recognizing the effort that went into its preparation. Eating mindfully means choosing foods that nourish rather than harm the body. Avoiding overeating or eating while distracted. Expressing gratitude for each meal, knowing that many factors contributed to its presence on your plate. 2. Move your body with awareness. Physical activity does not need to be extreme to be beneficial. Simple movements like stretching, walking, or yoga can help maintain balance. The key is to approach movement with mindfulness rather than as a chore. A mindful walk, for example, is not just exercise, it is a meditation in motion. Each step is an opportunity to connect with the earth, breathe deeply, and cultivate a sense of presence. 3. Rest and rejuvenate. The body requires rest to heal and function at its best. Lack of sleep leads to irritability, poor concentration, and increased stress. Proper rest is not a sign of laziness, it is an essential part of self-care. Buddhism teaches the importance of letting go, and that includes allowing yourself to rest without guilt. A well-rested body leads to a calmer and more positive mind. By caring for your body with awareness and respect, you create the foundation for a balanced and fulfilling life. Life is impermanent, a fundamental teaching in Buddhism. Everything is constantly changing, seasons shift, people evolve, and circumstances transform. The only certainty in life is change itself. Many people resist change, fearing the unknown. This resistance creates suffering, as it leads to attachment to things that are destined to shift. But when we embrace change instead of fearing it, we open ourselves to growth, learning, and new experiences. The Buddhist perspective on change. The Buddha compared life to a flowing river. It is never static, the water constantly moves, shaping the landscape as it passes. If we try to hold onto the water, we will only experience frustration. But if we allow ourselves to move with the current, we flow harmoniously with life. Similarly, when we accept impermanence, we find peace in the natural ebb and flow of life. How to embrace change in daily life. 1. Approach life with curiosity. Instead of fearing the unknown, see it as an opportunity for discovery. Every new experience is a chance to learn something valuable. 2. Let go of attachment. Attachment to past experiences or expectations can cause suffering. When we let go of rigid ideas about how life should be, we allow space for unexpected joys to enter. 3. See challenges as opportunities. Difficulties are not punishments, they are teachers. Every hardship carries a lesson that helps us grow. By shifting our mindset, we transform obstacles into stepping stones toward personal evolution. Trying new things, stepping out of our comfort zones, and embracing the impermanence of life allow us to experience the world with openness and positivity. In Buddhism, balance is the key to a peaceful and fulfilling life. The middle path, one of the core teachings of the Buddha, encourages avoiding extremes, whether of indulgence or deprivation. This principle also applies to the way we set goals. Many people set goals that are either too ambitious, leading to frustration, or too easy, resulting in stagnation. The Buddhist approach encourages realistic and meaningful goals that foster steady progress. The art of setting balanced goals. 1. Break big goals into small steps. A massive goal can feel overwhelming, leading to procrastination. Instead, break it down into small, manageable steps. Each step should feel achievable, giving you a sense of accomplishment along the way. 2. Focus on the process, not just the outcome. Many people believe happiness comes from achieving goals, but Buddhism teaches that joy is found in the journey itself. If we are only focused on the destination, we miss the beauty of the path. 3. Practice patience and self-compassion. Growth takes time. Rushing towards success often leads to burnout. Instead of being hard on yourself, embrace progress over perfection. By setting balanced, meaningful goals, we create a life that is not only productive but also peaceful and fulfilling. Buddhism teaches that happiness is not something to be pursued, it is something to be cultivated. True joy does not come from external achievements but from inner contentment. This is why engaging in activities that nourish the soul is essential. These activities do not need to be grand or extravagant, they can be as simple as reading a book, painting, playing music, or spending time in nature. The Buddhist approach to happiness. 1. Find joy in simple things. Buddhism encourages us to appreciate the present moment. Happiness is not in the past or future, it is in right now. A blooming flower, a gentle breeze, a warm cup of tea, Each of these can be a source of joy if we truly pay attention. 2. Surround yourself with positive energy. The company we keep influences our state of mind. Surrounding ourselves with people who uplift and support us contributes to a more positive and peaceful life. 3. Align your actions with your values. Happiness is not just about pleasure, it is about meaning. When we engage in activities that align with our deeper values, we cultivate a sense of purpose and fulfillment. By consciously choosing to engage in positive and nourishing activities, we train our minds to find happiness in the everyday moments of life. Life is a continuous journey, filled with both joys and challenges. But as we have explored through these Buddhist teachings, peace and happiness are not found in external circumstances, they are cultivated from within. By practicing mindfulness, embracing gratitude, speaking kindly to ourselves, taking care of our bodies, accepting change, setting realistic goals, and engaging in activities that bring joy, we create the foundation for a more balanced, positive, and fulfilling life. Remember, inner peace is not a destination, it is a way of living. Each day presents a new opportunity to practice these principles and deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. You don't have to be perfect, you only need to take one step at a time. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these Buddhist teachings resonated with you the most? How do you cultivate positivity in your daily life? Let's start a conversation in the comments below. Your insights might inspire someone else on their journey. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit from these teachings. By doing so, you help grow this community of wisdom and positivity. Thank you for being here. And remember, peace begins with you. See you in the next video.